You're watching NDTV 24x7. I'm Ruby Dhingra. For the top story this hour, Congress Working Committee is meeting and the Congress will have a new president soon. Over to Srinivasan Jain for more.
Right, thanks very much indeed, Ruby. Rather optimistically, we believe that when you said that the Congress will have a new president soon, it does not appear that it might be soon, because the news that's coming in out of the Congress is actually that there could be further delays because the Congress has, in true Congress style, decided to prolong the process and set up committees now. So the Congress Working Committee, which is meeting there on the screen, is now going to break up the decision-making process, and they're going to talk to different regions, and then each region will have its own team that will talk to it, and on we go. But could there still be an answer at the end of the day? We are not sure. But let me try to go across to my colleague Sukirti Dwivedi, who is at Congress headquarters. So Sukirti Dwivedi, it's back to committee Raj in the Congress.
Well, yes, earlier it was being expected that today's meeting would be a little simpler and the decision would come sooner, because Mukul Vasnik's name had been coming up, saying that there were sources in the party who kept saying that he is the strongest contender. But now that we see these 5 different committees being divided into these 5 different zones, east, northeast, northwest as well as south, all of them headed by different general secretaries of the party. And even the Gandhi family, so Sonia Gandhi will be part of the East region, Priyanka Gandhi of the North region, and Rahul Gandhi of the West region. All of this now, with all of these different leaders being divided into 5 separate groups, looking at what are the demands of the state level leaders from these regions as well.
Right,
so now it seems like the process is going to continue much longer than what we were expecting, and the decision might not come today, going by how long these consultations may go on.
So Sukirti, sorry, so it's interesting that the Gandhis are also now part of heading some of these subcommittees or whatever. But very quickly, wanted to ask you that one view is that the decision has already been made. Most likely, they've chosen somebody. By all accounts, Mukul Vasnik as the front runner, and this whole committee business is to kind of give a sense that we are going through the consultation, and they may still have an announcement by today. Is that at all seeming possible, or could it actually get pushed further?
Well, Vasu, the likelihood of it getting pushed further is higher now, considering the way these committees have been formed and the number of leaders that are there in each of these committees. Right. So going by that, there is a likelihood that the decision either will come right at the end of today, or may come up tomorrow or day after. Earlier, yes, because as you've been saying, Mukul Vasnik's name, the way it was coming out so strongly, it was expected that the decision would come about today. It would simply be the CWC meeting and the name popping up. But going by the way that now it's being said that Rahul Gandhi wants this to be taking place in a democratic manner, each of these voices is to be heard. So now it seems that Rahul Gandhi wants to create also this impression that every decision in the Congress is taken by getting all of these voices together. Yes.
All right. Okay. So Kirti, thanks very much indeed for that. Archie Jairat is here with us. Naresh Arora, political strategist, Congress supporter, is with us. Lanka Dinakar, leader BJP, also joining us. Archie Jairat, death by committee. We all sat down, getting ready to sail into it.
I know, we thought finally after more than 2 months you would have a resolution to this leadership vacuum, but it doesn't look like it. I don't know. What I find really strange in this, Vasu, is that from what I understand, this is going to be an interim arrangement, right? This is a temporary arrangement till next year, when they expect elections to be held and the Congress party to elect democratically a new president. Yes. If it's an interim arrangement, why do they have to go through this really lengthy process of consultation?
It is, by the way, going to be most likely an interim arrangement.
Exactly. That's what we understand.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So in which case, the CWC is perfectly authorized by the Constitution to choose, a president. So, I mean, they could have made this short and sweet and, sort of ended everybody's agony. The biggest agony being in the Congress itself, where we've been hearing voices voices about how this leadership crisis, this vacuum needs
yes.
to be filled as early as possible. The way the Congress is just unraveling, its MPs are leaving,
Exactly.
its state leaders are leaving.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, something needs to be done, and urgently.
Yes.
But clearly Rahul doesn't seem to feel that sense of urgency.
Naresh Arora? When Aarti, by the way, said that the greatest urgency was for, I thought she meant all of us, like trying to cover this that story. But obviously, yes, it is for the Congress a much greater sense of urgency. But Naresh Arora, why? I mean, why just dither and dither and dither? Just announce the name and move on.
Srinivas, we all know that there is a divide between the younger and the older lot. And the older lot, of course, seems to carry more weight than the younger one.
You think these delays are being pushed by the older lot? Because this seems to be Rahul's idea, that let's consult and so on.
Of course, it is Rahul's idea, and because it is Rahul's idea, that is why all these committees and consultation groups have been formed. Otherwise, CWC could have immediately made an interim arrangement. And we know that who the front runner is or was, and he still continues to be so.
So from what you, right, so that is, continues to be the front runner. But from your information, are these subcommittees and all that just kind of, sort of just window dressing to show that we are going through a process of consultation?
I can tell you from the Congress parties, my experience with the Congress party and the history of the Congress party, that each person in that consultation group, whosoever the people are going to be asked, is going to take only one name, and that is Rahul Gandhi. And that is how it is going to be. Eventually, they'll all come back to the drawing board that we had made the consultations.
Everyone says we want Rahul Gandhi.
Rahulji, you please tell us what to do.
Right.
And that is where the whole thing will come into it. So, but having said that, I guess this is...
Oh dear, this could be even worse than we thought.
But having said that, I guess that the consultations will end today itself.
You think so?
Yeah,
no, will there be an announcement today?
I
Your
hope
gut.
so. I hope so that there
You
will be
hope
an
so.
announcement
Okay.
today.
So Kirti didn't
Because
sound very
the
optimistic, but
indications are of, as you rightly said, of interim arrangement, and they will say that we will hold the complete organization elections probably sometime down the line.
Right.
And for now, we have this interim arrangement.
Right. Lanka Dinakar, is the BJP quaking in its boots to see who will the Congress pull out of its hat?
That is the internal matter. But after 2019 defeat, huge defeat under the leadership of Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, they want to show some window dress, as you thought. Aarti also told that it is being a temporary arrangement. These kind of temporary arrangements are accustomed for the Congress whenever there are crises, leadership crisis. A very huge leadership crisis is in existence as far as Congress party is concerned. But dynasty politics, it is very much a dangerous politics which is continuing since independence by the Congress party. It is continuing, of course, on and off. Congress party allowed some non-Nehru families for various positions, but driving seat.
But Mr. Dinakar, can you hear me? I wonder. If you can hear me, the fact is that let's say at the end of all this, okay, the Congress may delay dither, but let's say at the end of the day they pull out a name from the hat. It is somebody like a Mukul Vasnik. Does that take away your dynastic politics charge against the Congress? Does it diffuse that immediately?
It is the history always tells the facts. If you observe that, what happens to the PV Narasimha Rao ji when he was done marvelous reforms in India?
Right.
What happened after his term completion? What happened to the PV Narasimha Rao ji? Whether they honored. It is the dynasty politics which drives the Congress party. Right. If anybody works beyond that, such people were bullied. It is the fact it happened. And the recent loss due to Rahul Gandhi leadership failure as well as the Priyanka Gandhi failure. Right. She unable to contest even in Amedi. That is the situation. Congress is in such a bad situation.
Well, dynastic politics, we'll get into that debate. I mean, all parties now, unfortunately, have sort of not been able to shake off the malaise of dynasty. But Aarti, very quickly, if it turns out to be Mukul Vasnik, why Mukul Vasnik, you think?
Well, I mean, Mukul Vasnik is neither young nor old. So he's kind of like
he's young by Indian politics standards.
But not as young as, some of the other names that
a very young 59.
A very young 59.
He's younger than the Prime Minister.
So he's a kind of bridge. But I think more than that, he is a very low profile person and, completely a Congress family loyalist,
Yes.
and has been, you know, I
Yes.
mean, he comes from a Congress family. His father was a 3-time MP of the Congress.
Right.
So I think, you know, I mean, you know, you asked this question whether this will diffuse the BJP's charge of dynastic politics. I don't think so, because I don't see the Gandhi family, you know, moving out of decision making in the Congress party. You know,
So he will be a
And-
sort of seat warmer figure.
Exactly, exactly.
It
Till
is
next year when the elections will take place, and who knows,
also-
then maybe a Priyanka or somebody may,
Right.
you know, take charge.
But it's
so
also-
he's very ideal for that. And you know, I think one of the things I remember a Congress leader telling me was that they're looking for somebody who does not have any children.
Oh.
So that,
He's not married.
So he's not married.
Right.
So you know, so that there's
That
no
is a
question of
qualification.
that's
This
a
is the
qualification.
RSS model, the sort of.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, basically the idea being that nobody, he won't
don't have any
promote
pr-
family
you don't have
interests.
some family to
That's
promote
right,
and so
that's
on.
right. That's
But also,
right, that's right.
but also, Naresh, it's interesting that all three candidates whose names have been doing the rounds are all from the scheduled caste community. So that is clearly something which seems to be very much on the Congress's plate.
And that is
whether it
Rahul's
is Vasnik,
template.
whether it is Kharge, whether it was Sushil Kumar Shinde, I don't think he's anywhere in the reckoning now. But
That has been Rahul's template, that he
That is the-
has been trying to promote Dalit leaders, or the leaders will come from the scheduled caste categories, and trying to get that poach on that vote bank which traditionally used to be theirs.
Right.
But having said that, I would also on a lighter note say, Vasu, that it is an enigma for anyone who is going to be either aspiring or be the Congress president for now, because all the cliched things of Congress or the Gandhi family controlling by remote controls are going to be there. Whether that person will be able to assert them himself or not
Yes.
is again going to be under a very great question. If he will do something, that will be seen as Mr. Gandhi family
Trying
promoting,
to- yeah.
and if he will be failing, then of course it will be an enigma for the person who is going
crown
to
of
be taking it.
thorns. Last word from you, Lanka Dalekar, before we take a break. Look, the fact is that if they appoint somebody like a Mukul Vasnik, who comes from the scheduled caste community, who's not from the Gandhi family, do you think that this will sort of take the sting out of you? I mean, you can certainly say Gandhi is by proxy, but the face of the Congress, which Mr. Modi successfully painted as a Namdar versus Kamdar, you know, battle divide. Now the Congress could come out and say, look, here we put a Kamdar. He comes from a backward caste. He doesn't belong to the Gandhi family. He's the president of the party.
As far as Narendra Modi is concerned, if anybody thinks that it is the tainted, it was vanished in the year 2019 election. People has given a verdict. Those paints, whoever they want to paste, it was removed by the people of this nation. 130 crore people of this nation know very well that remote control and decision making with whom will we exist in Congress party.
But the face of the party, will not be anymore a Gandhi. The face of the party will not be a Gandhi. He will be coming from the backward community. You don't think that takes the sting away somewhat?
My straight question is, where is Mr. Kharge? He has interest from scheduled caste, just showing some people as a show.
Right. We have a problem there with Lanka Danakar's line.
It
We'll
is
try
very
and get a
No,
interesting.
I
One
just
more
want to
thing
say
to
one
see.
thing,
Yes,
Vasu.
quickly, yes.
You know, just quickly, that, you know, I think frankly it doesn't really matter anymore for the BJP. I think, you know, after the revocation of, or abrogation of Article 370, which is backed by such popular nationalist
Including
sentiment,
from the Congress.
including several members of the Congress. I think Narendra Modi, you know, is over that hump now of having to, you
And
know,
he
sort
has
of,
pressed time
go
again.
on rubbishing the Congress.
Sure.
He has
It's
kind
just
of
that-
really established his dominance, you know, in Indian politics and on the
Of
political
course,
landscape.
I agree with you. It's just
So-
that you need to have a punching bag that you can target to basically, in a sense, discredit the opposition, right? And having a family
The
member.
opposition, does it exist anymore at the end of, you know, the
True,
last session
true.
of parliament? I mean, can you say that there is an opposition in
That's
this
also
country?
true.
I mean,
That's
they've
also
all,
true.
you know, more than, so many have crossed over to the BJP, and I believe many more are on their way.
Yes.
So, you know, do we really have an opposition anymore?
That's true.
I would second Artiji's remark on this, because if you see that
You are
even the
supposed to, by
parliament-
the way, represent the Congress at this
See, that we
panel,
have-
but
we
you
cannot
agree
defy
with
logics.
everything we are saying.
We cannot
That
defy
is- That
logics,
ain't a
and
good sign for the
I
Congress.
don't represent Congress party. I am
No.
speaking in a personal
I
capacity.
meant represent the view that the Congress.
See,
will take. Anyway,
if
sorry,
you
go
see,
ahead.
as Artiji was saying, that this whole thing doesn't matter whether it is from a reserve category or not, because if you see that BJP with this abrogation of 370, Prime Minister twice laid stress and Amit Shah on the floor of the House that this will bring in the Safai Karamcharis to the main fold, which they have been left out since long time.
Right.
And secondly, one more smaller point, Vasu, if you see the formation of the groups, if you see it very carefully,
right,
Mr. Ahmed Patel, a leader like Ahmed Patel, has been put into a consultation group with the Northeast.
Right.
And a Priyanka Gandhi and a Jyoti Aditya Scindia have been put in a consultation group with the northern part, which holds the chunk of it, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and so these are some things which are interesting enough within.
Okay, interesting. Little clues there about the power shift or the power dynamics changing within the Congress. We'll take a short break and we'll come back with more news, and of course we'll continue to keep an eye on this big evolving story.